Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for a care package themed episode today. Gonna try to get through no less than 4 care package or random act of kindness packages that have shown up here over the course of the last couple of months. I am really behind on mail. I am overdue in getting these folks their thanks here on the channel. And so we're gonna get through 4 today. And we're gonna start with my buddy BK over at Mac Wax Stacks. And I will leave links to all 4 of these channels below. In the event that you want to check them out, I would highly recommend all 4. BK, a great collector of the Mid-Atlantic Conference, mustached cards, and many other things. Really entertaining individual who I've become close friends with, and I enjoy watching all of his content. He sent this great note. Shane, please enjoy these 3 cards that I recently came across that made me think of your collection. I do think the UA Blab might gem out if you felt like it cornering the market on an UA PC. All right. Take care, BK. P.S. In honor of UA's number 33, show us card 33 in your buyback Franken set, would you? Okay, so the gauntlet has been thrown down here. P.S. I added an extra TTM for you of game-used media pass from a broadcast. So BK does broadcasting for basketball. He was a great college basketball player in the Mid-Atlantic Conference, thus his channel name. And check it out. He sent me this Bowling Green Brent Klassen ESPN pass that he has autographed and inscribed as a 1-of-1. How awesome is that? Actual 1-of-1 autographed material from a YouTube community member. Thank you, BK. And then he's got a couple cards here that came with it. And here is the aforementioned UA Blab. And I may be mispronouncing this, but BK showed off a couple of his cards on his channel. And I commented jokingly, but also serious at the time, that I had literally never heard of this guy. And then we had a good laugh going back and forth over text because there's an UA Krupp in hockey who I did have a couple of cards of. And BK has taken it upon himself to bestow me with my very first UA Blob card, which is definitely heading to my basketball Z-Folio. And then how about this Larry Legend on the 1990 Topps baseball design with the Celtics? That is incredible. What a home run of a basketball card. Both of those are going into my basketball Z. And then we have Rafi Devers with the Red Sox. And I'll tell you what, because BK threw down the gauntlet, we're going to take a look at these 2 cards that I had pulled out as kind of a tribute to his package. Got the McCoy, McLemore, and Johnny Green from 1970 Topps basketball. I love the tall boy basketball cards, really fun. And for a while, I would pick up any that I could find on ComC for like $1 or $2, just common players. I don't know anything about either of these individuals. And BK, if you need either of these cards for your Mac collection or otherwise, speak up and I would be happy to send you one or both of those tall boy basketball cards. But let's take a break now and see card number 33 in the buyback Franken set. All right, here is the buyback Franken set binder. I'll do a separate video on this coming up soon, but it's cards 1 through 792, all in Topps buyback formats from over the years. As you can see from just the first 3 pages here, some real fire. And as requested by BK in honor of UA Blob's number 33 uniform number, let's take a look at number 33 in the Franken set. I've gone 3 pages in here, which gets us through 27 cards. Here's number 28, 29, 30 is the great Burt Blyleven blowing a bubble there. 31, the newly inducted card, Buddy Bell from 73 Topps, 32. And 33 is a combo Sal Bando and Schwartz rookie card from 1967 Topps. So there you go. Challenge accepted, BK. And there is card number 33, at least for now, in the buyback Franken set. Now let's get back to the rest of the care packages. All right, so we've been UA Blob to start us off here by BK. And again, huge thank you to Mac Wax Stacks. Check out his channel for a ton of great entertainment. And let's move on now to the second package. I am just opening this up now, and this has also been here for a while from my friend and yours, Warren D in CLE. And he said, Shane, here's the Ron Francis card I told you about. It's definitely where it belongs. Be well, your pal Warren. So Warren's been getting into some hockey recently and I think even picked up a hockey collection recently, if I'm not mistaken. He ran across this card. He asked me, shot me a text, asked me if I had it already. I did not, and he graciously sent it my way. And it is none other than the greatest Hartford Whaler in the history of the franchise, Ron Francis, on a dual game-used stick and jersey card from Parkhurst. So check this out. From his late career stint with the Carolina Hurricanes, we've got a nice wooden stick piece here. Nice white jersey swatch. Gorgeous card of somebody who is one of my favorite hockey players of all time. Was my absolute favorite as a kid growing up as a Whalers fan. And this has the right language on the back that it is a game-used piece of stick and jersey. This card all the way from 2002 Parkhurst. So well over 20 years old now. And I can never have enough Ron Francis, and it means a ton to me that you saw that and thought of me, Warren. And in honor of that, I wanted to take out another Ron Francis that I've never shown off on the channel before. Check this card out from Panini Prime. This is a Showcase Swatches Ron Francis. So we've got a game-used swatch in the back, but then there are multiple layers of like acetate print. This is a thick card that you can see was actually assembled in layers. It is not serial numbered. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It is serial numbered 11 to 25. And the build quality on this, just the depth that you get with the relic in the background, the silhouetted image there, and then the foreground image, just incredible. And thought this would be a fun one to include alongside the Ron Francis that you sent. So Warren, thank you very much. I'm going to send you an OV card and some other cardboard back, but wanted to get that Francis up on the channel. And thought it was a good excuse to show off that Panini Francis card as well. And now let's move on to the third package in today's video. Okay, the third package in this extended care package video today comes courtesy of my buddy Brian over at the Card Squad, formerly Walk and Balk here on YouTube. Great individual. We've been friends for probably 3 or 4 years now. I've known Brian since the early days of getting on this platform. He is a collector of Phillies and Padres and football, Utah teams. He's based out there in Utah. Great collection, great channel. Enjoys the hobby with his young sons as well. And just an all-around wonderful individual. So Brian found a card, and it's been a while now. I want to say he found this at his LCS, and he sent it to me here with this note. Shane, I hope you enjoy this card. Thanks for your friendship. Brian at the Card Squad. Now, the reason we have these 3 1970s buyback cards up in the background, I actually know what is coming here in this package. Brian gave me a heads up and thought it was a buyback that I could potentially use for my Franken set. So I wanted to drag out 3 other 1970s buybacks, as this one that he sent is from the 70s, to kind of accompany it in the video today. This is a brand new pickup from Topps Heritage High Numbers. They included these MVP subset cards in Heritage box topper buyback format, and I scored the 1952 featuring Bobby Shantz and Hank Sauer. Also from Topps Heritage, and I believe from a high number box as well, the Bill the Spaceman Lee. I have a nice little run of his buybacks going across his career, and I didn't have that 75. And then very underrated player Norm Cash, later in his career as a first baseman here for the Tigers. Great shot there. Looks like a spring training shot on the 74 Topps design, and scored all 3 of those over the recent past, probably during spring training in the early part of the season here. And then let's see the card that Brian sent. He found this 1973 Topps Chicago Cubs manager and coaches card. So Whitey Lockman, of course, gets the majority of the stage here as the manager, but the real treat, as you'll see over on the right, this card has the great Ernie Banks on it. So this is technically an Ernie Banks buyback. Love these manager and coach cards from back in the day. I missed these in the modern Topps set. And when Brian reached out to me asking if I would have an interest in this for my buyback collection, I told him absolutely. This is card number 81. In fact, let's take it out of its plastic protection here and just see it in all of its glory. Card number 81 on the 1973 checklist. There's a better look at it. Gorgeous color on this. I love the design and the layout here with the photo boxes. And there it is, card number 81. So let's pause here. I'm going to grab the buyback Franken set binder for the second time in today's video, and we'll see if this one makes it in at slot number 81. Okay, so card number 81 in the Franken set was previously this Dave May from 1970 Topps. Great shot there with the Orioles. But as we're about to see, the new card from Brian has battled its way into the Franken set. Here it is in the lower right of the page. The Whitey Lockman, Ernie Banks, 1973 Topps manager and coaches card, rounding out a pretty nice page here that includes red Schoendienst and a rookie trophy George Scott along with a Rusty Staub. So pretty cool stuff there. And Brian, thank you for your contribution to this really fun Franken set project. And now we've arrived at the fourth and final care package in this combination video. This one comes from my friend and yours, Adam, over at the Vintage Sanctuary here on YouTube. One of my favorite channels, an incredible collection that Adam has built really just in the last 5 years for the most part. Just an amazing eye for cardboard and a really friendly individual. One of the nicest people that I've encountered in all my time in the hobby. So I'm really grateful to call Adam a friend. We have sent each other cards on a few occasions now. And as an example of just what a wonderful human being he is, he sent me a card that he ran across on YouTube that just made him think of me and think of my collection. So he just bought it and mailed it to me just because. That's what kind of a person Adam is, for those of you who don't know. And as usual, he included a note with some great hints. So check this out. And Adam, I have to confess, your hints were so good that I did figure out what the card was prior to opening it. But this is so special. So Shane, this card begged to be in your PC, so I bought it and I'm sending it your way in a non-random act of cardness. Now, I have to go back and check the archives, but this might be the first non-random act of cardness in the channel's history. Officially designated, that is. So wonderful stuff. And then here are the hints. 372 makes him the new leader is the first hint. The second one is vintage players deserve this stock, especially when he has so few vintage offerings. And then the last hint is number US 191, your friend Adam, Vintage Sanctuary. Now, as you can tell by the backdrop here, I had a feeling that this will be a version of the Josh Gibson 2024 update card. Now, this is a chromium version here from Sapphire, but basically he got his first and only, and probably will be his only for the foreseeable future, official Topps card in 2024 Topps update to commemorate the integration of the Negro League stats and him becoming the new all-time batting average leader. And I think regardless of how you feel about that, it's a significant moment for him and a significant moment in baseball history and trading card history. And I commend Topps for giving him a proper Topps card. I've talked about this quite a bit in the recent past. I did a whole video on this card and why I think it's important. And Adam, as I could tell by the hints, found a version of it that I did not have, and I'm so excited to get. I'm removing it here from all of its protection because I want to just see it in its full glory. Check this out. This is the 2024 Topps update, the vintage stock Josh Gibson all-time career batting leader card. Just incredible. And I love what Topps did. I know others have mentioned this as well. The vintage stock design this year, they really changed up the design of the base set, and they introduced this kind of like analog or 80s looking like gradient between the black at the top of the card and the white at the bottom. And it really gives it a retro vintage feel, which is really fitting for this particular parallel. It still has that vintage Topps logo as well in silver foil, as these always do. And these are always numbered to 99 copies as well. So I've got copy 46 of 99. Adam, this is just beyond thoughtful. I know you know how much I appreciate this particular card, and for you to find a version that I didn't have out there in the wild, a serial numbered version at that, one of the few serial numbered versions that I didn't already own, to buy it, track it down, ship it to me with a nice kind note. It just means the world. And, had I gone out and found this card on my own, I would, yeah, sure, I'd certainly appreciate it. But I appreciate it that much more knowing that I got it from you. And I mean, how perfect is it to have a vintage stock parallel that came from the Vintage Sanctuary? Just so fitting, and just the latest of many examples of Adam's kindness. And I'm just really, really grateful to call you a friend, buddy. So thank you for that one. Thank you to everybody who sent cards for this episode today. I know we covered quite a bit, whether it was BK over at Mac Wax Stacks, Warren D in CLE, our friend here, Adam, anyone who sent cards, Brian over at the Card Squad. Please check all of these channels below. If you're not subbed to any of them, you could definitely check them out. Give them a little bit of support. I'm sure you'll enjoy their content. But we're going to wrap it there for today. Believe it or not, I am still not caught up on care packages despite this effort. So I have one more video coming with gifts from a couple of other folks in the community. But we're nearly there, and I appreciate your time on this one. I'll be back soon, as you know. And until then, enjoy the hobby, everybody. See ya.